about?
Come on. Aren't you a good citizen?
What do you mean?
What are you doing 2 years for?
Assault on an officer.
What?
Can I get your number?
Yeah, 911.
Hold on, one block traffic for y'all. Hold on.
Oh.
Yes, working girl, yes.
Hey, excuse me. Is that okay to pet?
So you know why I pulled you over?
Why you pulled me over?
You were doing 90 to 30. Why?
Because I'm in the hood.
That's a good answer. I'll be speaking to this motherfucker too. But you got any guns in the car?
Nah, sir, I ain't got no guns
You gonna
in this
need
car.
one. I'll be right back and grab you one.
Well, that's how you serve and protect the community.
Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Hey, you guys. Welcome back to Sunset Rants. I'm your host, Biddy. What's up, Valley?
Hey. I seem to have my voice back. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Even though you did,
back.
it was like a sultry thing. It was like a treat a little bit.
It was. Like,
Yeah.
I remember for Facts and Sauce, we had one more episode when we were doing like Casey Anthony. And I was like, I feel like it almost vibes better when we're talking about like these very deep subjects, right? Because I tend to be, very like uppity and like chaotic. And I think having like a calmer demeanor might have to be my thing in the future for, these serious type of topics. But
we'll just have like whenever you come out of the shower, just go right in front of the fan. Just get like a little bit of a sore throat and like right before we record, and then we can get that every time. No, maybe not.
I mean,
so
knowing my immune system, if I did that, I actually would
probably
be sick,
not.
and then I wouldn't be able to do the next like 2 shows. So
yeah, so no, let's not do that. All right, you guys. So
Bye.
Welcome to Sunset Rants. Thank you guys for joining us as always. You can find us both on X. You can find me, Elizabeth213A. I don't post a ton, but when I do, Doseki.
Yes,
where
you
can
do.
we find you? Very minimal.
This girl posts a ton. She'll be like, "Good morning," and she'll get like 200 replies.
Oh, that's like because like we're all part of this like good morning, hey, how you doing crew. Like we start our day off together. It's a community.
Yeah. So if you want to be part of a cool community of patriots, go ahead and follow Biddy. You can follow me at the Cali Melody, who doesn't have that sense of community. I'm just pretty jaded and fun about it.
You're like the Alanis Morissette of social media.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we get to it? Because we got a bunch of stories to go over for you guys today. Coming to you from the BBC. Big story. Everybody was really holding on to their hats last night. Why did Russian mega earthquake not cause more tsunami damage? Thank God. It has been one of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded, but so far has not brought the catastrophic tsunami that many feared. When the 8.8 magnitude quake struck eastern Russia at 11:25 local time on Wednesday, it raised concerns for coastal populations across the Pacific. Millions of people were evacuated as minds cast back to the devastating tsunami of Boxing Day 2004 in the Indian Ocean and Japan 2011, both triggered by similarly large earthquakes. So that's why everybody was just waiting for the 100-foot waves. But today's tsunami has been much less severe, even though it's brought some damage. So what caused the earthquake and tsunami, and why is it bad initially feared? So the Kamchatka Peninsula is remote, but lies in the Pacific Ring of Fire, so called because of the high number of earthquakes and volcanoes that occur here. Can't even imagine living around there. The upper layers of the earth are split into sections, tectonic plates, which are all moving relative to one another. The Pacific Ring of Fire is an arc of these plates and extends around the Pacific. 80% of the world's earthquakes occur along the ring, according to the British Geological Survey. Just off the coast of the peninsula, the Pacific plate is moving northwest at about 8 centimeters or 3 inches per year. Only about twice the rate that your fingernails grow, but fast by tectonic standards. That's actually kind of interesting. There it comes into contact with another smaller plate called the Okhotsk microplate. The Pacific plate is oceanic, which means it is dense rock and wants to sink beneath the less dense microplate. So I was kind of like curious about it because, like I said, a lot of people were, they heard the magnitude of the quake and they were like, oh my gosh, it's going to be, the Boxing Day 2.0, it's going to be 100-foot waves like Japan, like, everybody was freaking out, and rightly so. So what happened is, so apparently where the earthquake was shaking below the surface, it was way deeper than it was in these other areas. So if you think about kind of like being really below water, the pressure gets a lot stronger. The waving doesn't kind of make its way up to the top as it's supposed to. So you don't get that like real shift up at the top. And then there was also something about, I don't know, I think it's like, I guess you would say like the shore or, like where it goes down in the water. Over in Japan or like those areas, it's more slanted. So like if the water wanted to, it can just kind of ride up. In this instance, it was more like up and down, more steep. So it would take a lot more effort to get up. Also, the tectonic plates kind of didn't do like a big shift. It was more of like a little hiccup. So basically, in order to have like one of those big tsunamis, like everything has to line up perfectly. And thank God, again, it didn't in this instance.
Yeah, I mean, they tend to kind of overshoot things. I mean, they warn the entire West Coast. So I think Hawaii would be one thing, but I mean, like we got a warning on the coast of like, Southern California. And I think that was a stretch. You know, even if you live on the shore, if you have like a beachfront property or you live in a coastal town, nobody was quite taking it seriously.
That's your post right there.
And like we had like a similar like experience where everyone said we were going to have a tornado of August 2023.
Oh wow, really? Do you has like California? I guess we've had some in like Maya, some tornado warnings, some in like Jersey or whatever, but like in these areas, because it has to be more flat, and like a lot of our areas are a lot of hills, a lot of like uneven ground, so it's hard for the tornado to touch down. But I mean, people were yeah.
Yeah, I remember last time there was a tornado warning. It was issued in Orange County and San Diego County on August 20th, 2023 with Hurricane Hillary. And I remember I did like a video about like Hillary Clinton's head like going through the different areas.
Oh my gosh, you gotta bring that up. Yes, we have to see that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hurricane
And like
Hillary.
I just remember it was raining. There was a lot of like rainfall, but and flooding in some areas, but there was not even like high winds really.
Yeah, sometimes I feel, I mean, it's bad when they don't give you the warnings, but like remember what we were talking about when there was that huge flash flood and people were saying like warning fatigue because they do it for everything. Like
Mhm.
if it's like a huge amount of rain but there's no worry that there's going to be like really bad flash flooding. Like you'll be in the supermarket and all of a sudden everybody's phone goes off and you have like 7 heart attacks and you're like, all right,
Yeah.
so like to grab the bread and the milk, run out the door, like what, you're like freaking out,
Yeah,
but
it's
yeah.
definitely like more panic than it's worth, but I think it gets to a point where people realize like based upon altitude, based upon
Mhm.
um how if they're inland, like how close they are to the shore, if it's something that has to do with like a tsunami or tornado or something like that. The only thing that I feel like is either accurate reporting or they downplay is unfortunately fires, which really
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah. No, great point. And speaking of fires, you remember when I mean everybody remembers the Maui fires, but when Oprah Winfrey when she got like huge backlash for asking people for money and not letting anybody kind of like retreat to her 1,000 acre acre what do you call it,
They
plantation
opened
or
up her
whatever that she
road,
has
right?
there. Yeah, so yeah, but like after a lot of people were making a big stink about it like all over social media and like probably put the pressure on because at first she wasn't, and people would have had to go like ride the shore just to get around to get to higher ground, to go all the way around
Mhm.
her property. So finally she
Right.
did open, but yeah, she's under fire again for just kind of being like, peasants, you can't come on my land. Sorry, try
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
But yeah, people were freaking out because they were telling people to get to like 10 stories high areas in like Hawaii, some of Hawaii areas. But yeah, oh right, that thank you, Brian. This is the route. So this in the middle of this circle, this is her whole area of where she lives. So they would have, this red line is where they would have had to ride around in their cars in bumper to bumper traffic, no less, just to get to higher ground from where they were. And Oprah's road basically cuts off right here. So if people were able to just go in, they would
And
have
it
been
didn't
able to
hit them at
just
all,
cut
right?
up. No, they didn't get it
I
like
don't think
the
it
way
hit at
that they
all.
were supposed to. Yeah, and like it's
Yeah.
crazy because I mean, listen, even though I'm not a big fan of Oprah, there's a lot of reasons why I'm not a big fan of hers, but it is like private property and stuff like that, and she does have some rights, but like at the same time, like you built your career on the backs of people trying to pretend like you're like this humanitarian. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car, and like all of these things, like you're so giving and you're so thoughtful, and every time something happens, you're out there and you're making a statement, but yet when you actually can do something for everybody around you, it's like, oh well, I'm just gonna drag my feet and see if anybody cares. Oh, they care. Okay, open it up. I don't want
Mm.
to deal with it. Yeah. Hey, T-Bone. Oprah is a war criminal. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Hillary would be the one to bring about a tornado. Yeah. 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 So thank God again that this wasn't what they predicted. Because that was really scary. That like people were freaking out last night, and I'm just so glad that we didn't. They go through a lot, especially in Hawaii. That's just insane what they deal with on the regular. But all
Mhm.
right, so let's see what we got up next. So this is from CNN Business. Trump plans to impose a Russia penalty on India in addition to a 25% tariff as trade talks stall. So President Donald Trump is racking up the pressure on India, calling into question the prospects of a deal with a key U.S. trading partner just days before his tariff deadline. Trump, in a pair of social media posts Wednesday, sharply attacked India's trade barriers and directly targeted India's sustained reliance on Russian oil purchases and military equipment. He doubled down on his threat to impose 25% tariffs on all Indian imports and threatened an additional penalty in response to India's energy purchases. Quote, remember when, while India is our friend, we have over the years done relatively little business with them because their tariffs are far too high, among the highest in the world, and they have the most strenuous and obnoxious non-monetary trade barriers of any country, Trump wrote on Truth Social. Also, they have always bought a vast majority of their military equipment from Russia and are Russia's largest buyer of energy, along with China, at a time when everyone wants Russia to stop the killing in Ukraine. All things
What is
not
this?
good.
What is this switch up of his narrative?
You know,
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
no, I mean, it's just, you know, he used to have great relations with Putin, and now it seems that, you know, he is saying Russia is killing all the Ukrainians, and he's now starting a fight with India because of the relationship with Russia when this is nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, India is like a third world country.
Yeah.
And I don't
You're kind of
quite
getting
understand.
whiplash. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't quite understand why he's going there.
I think there's a lot of different parts to this. I think he's highlighting one thing that everybody can get on board with, but I think there's multiple parts to this. So like one, he thought that he's negotiation power, strengths that he has in negotiations would have worked, and the Russia-Ukraine war would have stopped, and the negotiations would have went a lot better, and they would have already had a ceasefire. Because that's not happening, it's making him look bad, and I think over time he's really started to get upset with Russia, and he does at the end of the day want that all to stop. All of us do. The other part of it is he's trying to build. He's like, he's making deals with the EU, right? So he's trying to build where this country is the one that everybody goes to for their energy, for the oil, for all these kinds of things. So I think that in this instance, if he kind of like pushes this, maybe he thinks he can make some kind of deal with India where they start buying from the United States versus Russia, and then we get stronger and stronger as an exporter of oil. So I think that there's like a lot going on here. Yeah.
I mean, so a big reason for this is that the trade relationship between the two, right, between India and Russia, has basically been driven by like the sanctions and the geopolitical conflicts. So I have here, they've been significantly trading since 1995, but their trade was valued at 1.4 billion. And then now it's valued between 65 to 66 billion. This is just between 2023 and 2024. So it's India is Russia's second largest trading partner. And this is due really because, again, because of the sanctions, Russia can't like really trade with whoever they want, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best way to get at some of these countries is to hit them in the purse. You know what I mean? So maybe that's where he's going with this, because if obviously we've seen, because of all the different amounts of money that we're sending overseas to fund these things, like if you don't have a large bank account and a lot of resources, you can't continue the conflict. You shoot things up in the air, they explode, bye however much money that was, and they're a ton of money. So like you got to keep spending money to keep making these things and whatnot. So it's like if you kind of want to stop conflict, you got to cut off the money. And that's why a lot of us were upset when we heard that we were sending more resources over to Ukraine. But then again, it kind of brings me back to what I said earlier, is I think that like President Trump was pissed off that they couldn't come to an agreement and there was no ceasefire as quickly as he promised all of us he would get. So
yeah, I mean, I'm reading from the Business Insider. Russia, it says why Trump's tough stance on Russia could derail the biggest win in his trade war. So we'll have to see. It looks like people are weighing in, and they're kind of torn between whether or not this is a good decision or not.
Jack Posobiec says, do the India tariffs include Indian call centers, which are never helpful and also take American jobs?
Oof.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of do. And I talk to them all day long. And a lot of them, they go through, which I actually kind of appreciate, I'm not going to lie, because it's very hard to understand them, especially when you're calling like your bank. So I think they're using like AI to kind of soften their accents when they're going on here. And then they'll say like, my name is Bob or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know what I kind of thought was like weirdly interesting, because it kind of came to me and I was like wondering about this. So remember when there was that like really short conflict with India and Pakistan, and then there was like an immediate ceasefire that Trump negotiated. In that negotiation, Trump basically he said that he was going to offer both countries stronger trade incentives, and that like that they were gonna, if they de-escalated, they were getting promised economic benefits. So then you have like this moment right here where he's saying, I'm gonna hit you with more tariffs, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like, isn't that kind of like, I mean, it was just like what is it, May that happened? The time is just flying. But yeah, so I was just like, I don't know. But I mean, the tariff talks and all of this kind of like, I know like people don't want to say trade wars, but it kind of is, because there's like there's like small little trade battles, tariff battles all over. They're going to continue. They're going to continue until he gets what he plans for this country. And what he plans for this country, he wants this to be the biggest output of energy, the biggest producer of AI, bring a lot of manufacturing jobs back here.
That's a whole nother thing. That's why Elon has been very quiet in regards to the American Party, because they're both on the same side of the technocratic war now, right?
Yeah, good point. Anyone remember the assault elephants Thailand deployed? That was funny. Oh my gosh, no. That's actually really cool. I would love to see that. But yeah, so just like everything else, I guess we will see what happens with that. A lot of the times these areas, they do fold to Trump's demands, so we'll see what happens. All right, so what do we got next? Oh, yeah. Okay, so coming to you from The Guardian, freed British Israeli hostage accuses Starmer of, quote, moral failure over move to recognize Palestine. A British Israeli woman who was held hostage by Hamas for more than 15 months has accused Keir Starmer of moral failure after he set the UK on course to recognize a Palestinian state. Emily Damari, 29, who was released in January, said the Prime Minister was, quote, not standing on the right side of history and should be ashamed. Her criticism came as lawyers representing British families of hostages held in Gaza by Hamas said the UK government's intention to recognize a Palestinian state ran the risk of disincentivizing the release of captives. Starmer said on Tuesday that the UK would recognize a Palestinian state in September unless the Israeli government abided by a ceasefire and committed to a two-state solution to the conflict.
Well, I mean, it is another, I guess it could be another way to be like, okay, agree to a ceasefire. Otherwise, us, trying to
I totally agree.
To stop the killing. Like my whole stance is that people are dying, and it's
almost like it should be so simple, right?
Yeah, and hopefully that does get to the Israeli government, because they don't want a two-state solution.
No, that's like one of their hard lines right now. That's like always the hard line. Like in all these different conflicts that are popping up all over the place, it's always borders. It's always which areas are mine, what's in those areas, and that's our stuff. But it's like I get the two kind of sides of the sword to this. Like the one, because I agree, because I was actually thinking that in my head what you just said, is like everybody's trying to use their own strengths of like how they can negotiate, what leverage they have. So I guess the UK, since they don't have the kind of leverage that say the United States has or China has, or, you know, like these big trading tariff pushing areas, they're using what they can. But then I also kind of see what Emily DeMar is saying is kind of like, you know, it's always been a thing, like never negotiate with terrorists. And there's still kind of like, you know, what's going on between like Hamas and how they're getting funded and all of that kind of stuff. So it's like, if you kind of bow down to their demands in this way, because that's exactly what they wanted from the beginning and where the whole conflict started, it'll may show others that want to do this kind of thing, like all you got to do is do some crazy event, ride it out, you know, and for like a year or so, and then you'll eventually get what you want, and then you'll have all these factions doing these terrible like other October 7th elsewhere. So I kind of see,
I mean, I was just looking at some of the Rumble comments, and like with Legacy, I agree. I do think that it could potentially start World War III if there was a proposal towards a two-state solution. I honestly do. And then Mulgara says you can recognize that Hamas is a terrorist organization and also suggest a permanent ceasefire and move towards a two-state solution. I know, but Israel does not want a two-state solution.
That's the thing. That's like one of their like main things. Yeah. So I don't know if they would even move on that one. You know,
right.
It's, like you also got
it's almost kind of like a soft threat, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of weird because the UK knows that. Like they know that that's the main thing. It's almost like telling Putin, like, we don't care what you say. We're gonna all, you know, have recommend Ukraine to be put in the EU and NATO. It's like, all right, that's like the hard line. Like that's the one thing that it's like they're being so rigid on. So I don't know. Maybe they're just posturing. Like UK could be posturing because they've been looking weak and they have a lot of their own big problems going on. So maybe they just want to get in there and show that they have some kind of like pull, when I don't really think they do. But another thing, I guess we shall see. I just want all of it to stop. Just stop. Like, how do you have this much energy to constantly fight? Like, I feel so crazy. Like, it's just like we cover the news all the time, right? And we're constantly talking about all of these conflicts. And I know it sounds probably childish to even say it like that, but it's like, don't you guys just want to build a family and just grow your crops? Like, I don't care, like, you know, whatever, fine. Like, you want to just put the line right here, fine. Just, can I just like go ahead with my business? Like, I really don't, I don't know. Maybe that just sounds stupid. I don't know.
The issue is that, you know, there's kind of like two different narratives that are like constantly going on. Like I saw one video where Israelis are claiming that there is so much food that is being prevented to go into Gaza by the UN. And it's just like showing like a drone view of like trucks and trucks and trucks of food. And then of course you have a lot of people saying, no, that's like obviously, you know, IDF propaganda. These people are not even on the verge of starvation, are starving to death. And that I saw another statistic that like 54,000 children have been dying every single day, approximately, because of this. And it's like, it's just all so fucking horrible. Like, it's all so horrible.
And then, like, not only that, but like, just think about like, you know, the kids that do survive when they grow up, they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. It just perpetuates more conflict for the future. You know, it's just absolutely insane. To quote Metallica, sad but true. Yeah. Like I said, I've been looking more into the Quran and the Hadiths lately. Yeah. Don't believe the hype. Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like, you have like AI generated videos, you have like all these different areas promoting propaganda, and you have people like running with it without checking. Like, even that the thing with Sydney Sweeney, and then like the CEO of American Eagle came out and was just like, yeah, whatever, like chill out or whatever. I forgot what he said. But
Wasn't that
I don't
fake?
even know. I see, and that's the thing. Like, as soon as I seen the screenshot, and I was just like, I was looking for it. I was like looking for a statement. I was looking for it. I didn't find it. Not necessarily means that it's not real. I just didn't find it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to repost this. I don't even know if this is actual, But people don't do that. They see something and then they're like, phew. And I've done it before too. I've got burned before, and I was just like, okay, I got to stop doing that, because that's, you got to make sure like what the heck you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of scary that the social media apps that we visit have become like the number one news, because like, as much as I am thankful that like independent media is now being given the same as legacy media, like there's absolutely no fact checking at all. And people will just like run with things until it comes viral. And then like things get like community noted, and then you have to backtrack, and then you have to delete your videos. And it's like nobody like waits to actually make sure what is accurate.
With great power comes great responsibility. So if we want to take over the
but
power
nobody even
of
cares
the
about
new
the
media,
responsibility. They're just like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and they're just like, an individual. So it's like, if somebody calls you out and you're like, you're wrong, it's not like a huge media station where they're gonna look, like a pile of doo-doo if they've put out something that was untrue, even though they don't have accountability either. But like, that's why, like, what we do on this show, like we've talked about this before, like AK says this all the time, Brian says it's like, when we see something come out, we don't jump on it. We wait, we look around, we see what's going on, we gather the facts. Once we realize like what's actually going on here, then we'll have a take, But most people are just like, oh my gosh, new thing, pew, post. Like,
new
just like new shiny thing. Yeah, exactly. All right. What do we got next, Brian? Let's see. Oh, this is an interesting one. Okay. So while we get that pulled up, coming to you from Fox, proposed Texas redistricting map, I was never going to say that fast, would drastically shift Democrat-held seats.
Look at that ad. It's just all an ad for Israeli jewelry. That's interesting.
I didn't even notice that up there.
Interesting timing.
Yeah, right? Probably because it's listening to us as we're on here.
Bro, probably.
It's like, what are you doing? What do you mean? So the first draft of Texas's new congressional map was released on Wednesday. Earlier this month, President Donald Trump said he would like to gain 5 congressional seats through a midterm redistrict, effort in the state. The proposed changes mostly impact Democrat-held districts in the state's major metropolitan areas. While Republicans control 25 of the state's 38 congressional districts, lawmakers are trying to relocate Democratic voters from competitive seats into more Republican-leaning districts and move more Republicans into democratically controlled districts. What they're saying, quote, Texas Republicans have finally revealed their new redistricting map, and unsurprisingly, it is drawn to represent Donald Trump, not the voices of Texans. Texas Democratic Party Chair Kendall Scudder said they must be so pissed. I'm sorry. It is illegally drawn in a way that silences the voices of minority communities across Texas. When Donald Trump knows he can't win, he cheats. And Texas Republicans just prove they are unstable to stand up to their wannabe dictator. Tell that to Carrie Lake. Texas congressional districts should belong to Texans who choose their representatives, but this proposed map lets the representatives pick their voters instead. This is designed for Donald Trump, not for Texans. Texas Democrats will use every available method to oppose this racist, desperate power grab. Nothing is off the table. Okay. So what is redistricting? That word, I hate it. is the process of redrawing the boundaries of electoral districts. It typically happens every 10 years after the U.S. Census to reflect population changes and ensure that each district has roughly equal population. Is it legal? Yes. It's legally required by both the U.S. Constitution and state laws to ensure equal representation on the principle of one person, one vote. Are you laughing at me?
No,
however,
that's
it's... Oh, no. I was saying Mulgara because I seen like crying face. It's always funny with other party bitches about gerrymandering, like they don't both do it. Yeah. So yeah, gerrymandering, drawing maps to favor one party over another or dilute the power of certain voting blocks, racial or political. Racial gerrymandering, specifically targeting communities of color. They would have to, basically prove this, when I guess it would just kind of be like that Superman meme that you posted the other day, like you. I don't really know if you can prove that just by saying like the demographics are a certain race, and that you would just have to prove that it would be an automatic that people of a certain race, color, sexual orientation would vote Democrat, which, as we've seen, like, people that voted for Trump.
It's making themselves look bad. They're like telling on themselves, honestly.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm laughing, because it's just so funny. Because I could just imagine them that like the steam is definitely coming out of their ears. They must be so pissed because they've been working hard on Texas for a hot minute. Because if you think about Texas, you think like, oh, that's a red state, no question. But it's like a lot of areas are like purple. Some are like, getting into the blue. So like, they've been working hard on Texas for a hot minute to get that state flipped. Almost as hard as Scott Presler's working on Pennsylvania and other states, but probably not because he's a beast. But yeah, it's just I'd love to see this happening. And again, I keep saying like they need to do the census way more often than 10 years. That is absolutely insane. Like 10 years, really? Yeah.
I mean, so much can change in 10 years.
Right? Like, that just sounds so wild to me. And again, people need jobs, right? So make it a thing. Like, where it's like like every year. I don't know. All right. Let's see. What do we got next? This is actually really, really interesting. And it's got the conspiracy theorists like going ape on TikTok. So let's check that out. My favorite news source, the New York Post. Rare interstellar object the size of Manhattan could be an alien probe, Harvard scientists say. I don't know. You think we're going to make it to the end of the year? I don't know. We'll see.
Like, they can take me with.
I'm at this point. I feel like millennials, especially because we've gone through like so much over our whole lifespan, like we're just numb. We're just like, yeah, whatever.
I mean, like I saw this one thing where it was like millennials, stop saying LOL at the end of your sentences, and I'm like, that's literally how we cope with trauma.
Like scoomy? Like, yeah, no, that's not going away. Yeah, you like, did post that. I remember.
Are like the last generation to like remember 9/11.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was in high school. I'll never forget that day. That was crazy. I mean, obviously. But yeah, so all right. So let's see. Let's read a little bit here. The newly discovered Manhattan-sized interstellar object zooming through our solar system has been identified as a comet, but two Harvard scientists argue there is a reason to believe it's really an alien probe. It's kind of like in Independence Day, where they were like, is it a meteor or something or whatever? And they're, his cabinet's like, no, it can't be. And the president's like, why? And he's like, because it's slowing down or something like that. Like it's changing speed. So it's not like, falling through the orbit. NASA discovered 31 Atlas on July 1st, speeding through the inner solar system at 140,000 miles per hour, according to observations from the Atlas telescope in Chile, with experts clueless as to where it originated. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb suggested in a new paper that the object, only the third interstellar object ever detected, could be an intelligently directed alien craft observing Earth with possibly hostile intentions.
Huh.
Crying out loud. like, why do they have to be hostile, though? Like, if they're an alien spacecraft, like, maybe they're just coming to, like, you know, borrow some sugar. I mean, why does it always have to be like, oh my God, the whole world's gonna end?
Yeah.
You know, maybe they ran out of some resources and they're just like, you know what, we've been watching you for a hot minute and, you know, we just kind of figured like we might as well just come say hey. And by the way, you
maybe
know,
they're just like mad that we aren't enjoying like nature enough. We're like glued to our phones. We're always on social media. Everyone's shallow. Maybe they're just like, this is not the Earth that we spent a
millennial watching.
Yeah.
Galaxies. Yeah. They want to teach us a lesson. Like, go back to the roots. Stop being so like all up in your screen. Oh my gosh. I gotta watch the Twilight Zone tonight. I need to. This is like getting me in the mood. All right. So the hypothesis in question is that 31 Atlas is the technological artifact and furthermore has active intelligence. If this is the case, then two possibilities follow. First, that is its intentions are entirely benign, and second, they are malign. Malign?
Yeah.
The experts opined. Let's see. The paper presented several anomalous characteristics of the object, which could indicate that it's not a comet at all, but instead a directed craft.
Make up your mind.
Bro, it's gonna be a wild winter. One of the most puzzling observations is that the object has significant non-gravitational acceleration whilst having now cometary outgassing. That's crazy. I swear, like, I know exactly what they're talking about, but I kind of, like, am following. But yeah, that's... So significant non-gravitational acceleration. Wow. Low retrograde. Let's see. Anybody in the chat who's smarter than me? Any alien headed to Earth is just looking for trouble? Probably. Yeah, like why would they travel like all this way if they weren't trying to like take over or something? They're gonna roll up their windows, lock the doors when they realize Earth is a crack house.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe they're here to teach us a lesson.
Maybe. Can we just bring the meteor at this point? Like, yeah, I know. I think that's another thing too. Like I feel like we're all just like we're just doomed at this point. Like everything is just so accelerated. Everybody's just so bananas. Like people are so violent. Like nobody cares about family or, you know, friendships or anything. Everything is just online. It's like what are we even like if it's gonna happen, like what are you gonna do? Like if I'm sitting here and the freaking thing is like coming at, what am I gonna do? You think I'm gonna run? No. I'm gonna like raid my fridge and probably binge watch something, like chill with my husband and just like hang out. Like what do you do?
Like just like build like a bunker.
Yeah. Actually I did, because like I think I was being dramatic, but like during the Biden administration when everything was so chaotic and I was just like, oh my God, if something happens. And I just made sure I knew what areas in my neighborhood like have shelters that you can go into that like are for the public. So I actually know where they are. I'm like thinking about it right now. So I could go there, but then again, like everybody's gonna go there, and it's just like I don't want to spend my last days like screaming and yelling with people. I might as well just chill here.
Yeah, very true.
But let's see. First detected by NASA on July 1st. Official designation. What did they say it was? The size of Manhattan? Did they say that like in another? Yeah, the size of Manhattan. Yeah, that's how big the object is. That's fun.
Well,
yeah, it's in the headline.
Hopefully it doesn't go to Manhattan.
Yeah, I know. If I ever needed another reason to escape from New York, it's that. But you know, it probably wouldn't. It probably wouldn't even come over here. It would probably go like dead smack in the center. Maybe it'll fall in the ocean, and then we'll all go be underwater. I don't know. I hope not. I hope it's like quick.
Like, is it predicting that it would hit the States, or like where is it predicting that it'll hit?
I don't even know if it says. Like, I don't know. Well, let's see.
It just says going towards Earth, but doesn't say like what part of Earth.
No, I don't think. Maybe they can't figure that yet because
Yeah,
they don't know.
would be
Like they know.
to point that.
Yeah, like I know, like astronauts and NASA, like they work with numbers a lot, so I guess they can figure how fast it's going minus hitting the atmosphere, but they would have to know the weight of it as well, I would think, in order to calculate it properly. Where's Rick when you need him?
Did you see my post on X about saying ready for the aliens to take me?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I mean it's just like whatever. Again, like what the heck are we gonna do? Like even if like something crazy pops off just here on Earth between like all of these like dueling countries and it accidentally hit, like what are we gonna do? We don't have Bill Gates money where we can go into like a big old bunker, and even if you can get into somewhere like Fallout and whatnot, like Fallout. Like,
I don't know. He visited my profile, so maybe.
I forgot about that. I didn't do it because I don't even want to know who's been looking at my profile.
Dude, I don't know
didn't
how
even do it.
accurate that is. I don't know how accurate that is.
And then when I did the thing of like who visits my, with Grok, who visits my thing, I'm just like, it was like my alerts were going off because you keep getting tagged in like all these different things, and I was just like, all right, I'm not doing that again. Run, Biddy, the barn's on fire. Yeah, I'm definitely not running. And if I try, I'll probably bust a lip, and then I'll just cry, and that's why I'm saying I would just chill, raid the fridge, because then you don't got to worry about anything anymore. No cholesterol, gaining weight, nothing. You just have your best life, however long it's gonna be.
Live your best life.
Live your best life. YOLO. All right, so are you ready for? Dun, 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 dun. Nice bump hit. And of course, Brian came up with the best image for the day. This is an AI generated image, of course, unless there's something we don't know that Brian does. And you guys, the audience, we ask you to please join in and give us some funny captions. And then at the end, Valley and I will choose the funniest one. And you'll be entered into our championship round, which we will be probably not this week, but very shortly in the next couple of weeks, because we did each choose like our favorite caption from December to April. Whoever wins that championship is going to get the Romanation hat signed by Filibante that our founder AK got when he went on Timcast. You're also going to get your shirt, the caption that you came up with for the image on a shirt. It's going to be on our website, and you're going to get that one as well. So it definitely pays to play. So give us some good caption, you guys. Only endorsed. I don't know. Let's see.
I don't know. I got nothing right now.
I have something. All right, this is all I can come up with. What is that? All of these letters here. Okay. Excuse me, crack-a-lackin'. Somehow less bad than Bill Clinton. It is you did. Oh, it's on the screen. I'm over here like cracking my neck. It's diversion squid from the Epstein files. Oh my gosh.
Oof.
That's good. That's another thing too. Like every time something happens, like everybody's just like, "Oh, it's just diversion from Epstein." I'm like, maybe, but can we just like also pay attention?
People literally aren't excited anymore.
Mm-hmm. AK says
I feel like
Will
the last
Smith
time
and
they
Jeff
talked
Goldblum.
about,
Yeah,
I feel like last time they talked about aliens was like a distraction as well.
Whatever
Like, it came
happened
out
with all
around
the
the same
drones and
time.
stuff?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a real. I'm not gonna lie though, I had fun during that moment because like people were posting a whole bunch of different videos, and I was just like showing my husband. I'm like, oh my gosh, like look at this one. This one looks real. This one looks like, you know, people are like, are they angels? Are they aliens? Like it was just like all of this stuff. I was having fun. Ika said Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum need to let the fat lady sing again. It's not over till the fat lady sings. Chuthula arrives just before leaving. Not today, Earth. We don't talk about that. Let's see. Any on YouTube? Don't do it. It's a trap.
Okay, I'll see if I can come up with one.
I put first intergalactic ice hockey game and the fans still can't stop. I put stock. Stop throwing the octopi. Do you know they still do that? And I forgot what team it is.
No.
They throw like octopus on the ice. Like they still do it. It's like something they've done forever and they still do it.
No thanks.
It's gross too. Because they're like so slimy. Tentacles surprising. I had nothing to do with this. So I guess it was a submission that we got that image. It's a good image. I really like it. I love the. All right. Well, so then I won't repeat what you said. Then we'll just leave it at that. Secret. Aliens saving us from the deep state. Be like.
I swear I didn't even read Mulgara's before then.
Tentacles surprisingly not in the deep state. That's funny. All right. Does he still live in a trailer? Didn't he live like in a trailer? What's his name? The guy that does that? Matthew McConaughey? Didn't he live like in like some small little home or something? Like he lives very modest, or I don't know. Maybe that was all for show.
I know Adam Sandler. He doesn't live in an RV, but Adam Sandler lives like very modestly. In fact, like he still plays. I mean, you know more about New York than I do, but he'll play. Is it
basketball.
Central Park where he'll play basketball, and then he drove himself to his own premiere of Happy Gilmore too.
Nice, yeah, and he shows up, you know, kind of just like, you know, ragged out, like he doesn't get all spiffy.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
I mean, comfy.
If you don't give a damn, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah. You know what I'm surprised though? Yes. Do you know what I'm surprised though, that like, you know, they're doing all of the like the fashion and stuff like that, and they're trying to be, you know, trying to find like the new fashion, but like everybody's into comfort now. Like, why aren't you making like some sick, like, you know, silky like, you know, linen looking outfits and stuff like that, like where people would actually want to wear it, like look at it and be like, oh, that's a really nice version of like my pajamas.
I mean,
like I can look super
cute. Skims is doing that right now, I think.
Oh, are they? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. Because like all of this like boxy stuff and like confined stuff, like people aren't into that anymore. No. Like after COVID, everybody was just like, no, I'm chilling now.
I don't know, dude. I just wear like juicy jumpsuits all the time. I'm still in peak Y2K.
I love the fact, I love the fact that you still have those. I wish I still had mine. Oh my gosh, about, the one that I had was so sick.
Yeah,
but I would have sent it to you because I wouldn't have been able to fit into it anymore.
Like Von Dutch and Ed Hardy are like so retro. I'm like, dude, I still wear that shit. I don't care.
Yeah, I still. Oh, my Von Dutch, I love that. I still have that.
Yeah.
I have the Von Dutch hat. Probably fake. Maybe I don't know. We need more sweatpants.
All right, so if you pull up the comments one more time, I can give my insight before we get going.
Okay. Oh, Detroit Red Wings. Thank you, Hardy. Yep, that's the ones that still do the throwing of the octopus on the, what do you call it? Ice? Yeah, on the ice. Not landing here. Look at the crazy lady with the McDonald's eyebrows. Yeah. Did you see that meme? The thing with I reposted it actually. It was Nancy Pelosi, and they had her like side by side with the McDonald's arches and her eyebrows.
Yeah.
And she was like, she was suing for that. I laughed at that for like a half an hour. I can't stop laughing now. Oh my god. All right. So okay, we have. Yeah.
Our alleged producer and I like Malgueras.
That's the Cholula. How do you say that? Chiflulu? 2028 tentacle surprisingly not Cthulhu. 2028 tentacles surprisingly not in the deep state. All right, yeah, I'll go with that. I think that's a good one. Absolutely. All right, so congratulations, Mulgara. You win tonight's Caption This. Good job, you guys, as always. And thank you very much for hanging out with us. We love having you guys here. We love chatting with you in the chat. You guys' support is just so freaking amazing. And we always want to bring you like the best show. So I hope you guys enjoy it every time. Of course, you can follow the show on the Real Roma AK, Real Roma AK _ Oh my goodness. I gotta look it up now. I just got like, we're talking. Okay, so the Real Roma _ AK. And the website is riseofmiddleamerica.com, where you can join the Discord. You definitely should, especially if you like come hang out with us so much. Like we hang out in there a lot of the time. We're always chilling in the VC chats, just having conversations. You can use the Q&R code up at the top of the screen if you want to be all new age and fancy, and you can get right to Rise of Middle America from that. See all of our shows and everything. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great night. Is there anything else you got, Valley?
No. No, I think, it's just been a very crazy hump day.
Exhausting.
So far.
Yeah. Yes.
And,
yes.
Yeah, I think that we'll have to see what happens in a few months, if the meteors are going to come, if aliens are going to come, if they're going to take me. If there's
Send me a DM though if that
rezoning.
happens. Like if you get,
Yeah.
like, I would like to say goodbye. So like definitely.
Well,
send me a DM.
I have like a girls trip going, so.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah, because we definitely need to like.
Yeah,
get
I mean,
together.
we will have to see about the ceasefires, the sanctions. Again, always putting pressure on the Epstein files, and just keeping you guys posted. So thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. And keep it right here. Maybe go get a snack, because in a half an hour, we're launching the absolutely new show on Roma Nation's Roma Sports with AK and Gargi. And you guys are going to really enjoy that, because I was, watching them prepare and everything. It's going to be a great show. All sports every Wednesday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same place, you guys. So definitely check that out and share that with everyone. I hope you have a great night. Bye.
Bye.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.